CJ Stroud's best trait as a prospect is probably his ability to throw down the field with both touch and accuracy. And this first play is a great example of that. He's going to hit the top of his drop in rhythm and drop this ball right in the bucket from over 40 yards out. Should have been a touchdown, but unfortunately it was dropped. On the second play, he's faced with a free rusher off the blitz right up the middle. He never drops his eyes or panics versus pressure. He plays with good composure in the pocket. And once again, drops this throw while fading backwards, right in the bucket, where only his target can get it. On this final play, off the play fake, he's going to climb, and drop this deep post right past the outstretched hand to the defender, and it goes for a long touchdown. Personally, my favorite trait of Stroud's is his willingness and ability to throw into really tight windows and the aggressiveness he shows as a passer. And this first play is a perfect example of that, where he's going to zip this ball in right past the hand of the underneath defender with enough touch that he can't make a play on it, but still with enough velocity that the safety over the top can't break down on it to break it up for an insane throw for a touchdown. On the second throw off the play fake, he's going to slide away from pressure, never drop his eyes once again, and then make an insane throw on this crosser to layer it over the underneath defender and put it only where his target can get to it. And on the final play, he initially looks boundary to subtly move the middle of the field defender, and then he's going to come back middle and layer this ball right past the outstretched hand for a big gain. I want to go a little bit deeper into Stroud's composure in the pocket. So in this first play, Notre Dame's going to bring a safety blitz. They're going to show 7-man pressure look. They only bring 6. He recognizes the 1-on-1 he has in the slot with the safety, and he never panics. He's getting pressure off his edge. Like I said, they're bringing the safety. He never panics or drops his eyes. He hangs in the pocket, takes a hit, and throws a perfect throw in the slot post for a touchdown. On this next play, he's going to get interior pressure, doesn't drop his eyes or panic, hangs in, makes a beautiful throw over the underneath linebacker. And on this final play, he recognizes the advantage he has in the slot with a linebacker guarding a slot receiver. And he doesn't panic when the linebacker kind of clears the running back in protection. Instead, he keeps his eyes downfield. He's going to hit the seam for a big gain. What I want to touch on next is that CJ Stroud is far from a one-read quarterback. In this first play, off the play fake, he initially looks filled, comes back to the boundary. You see his eyes and feet stay connected throughout his process, and then he throws this comeback with accuracy. On this next play, he's facing single high pre-snap. He recognizes the 1-on-1 to the field. Initially, he looks there. The cornerback's bailing, so it's not there. It's not going to get open. You see him come back to the boundary. Eyes and feet once again stay connected. You see him make a really impressive throw versus pressure. And the final strength I want to talk about for Stroud is his accuracy and his escapability. So on this first play, he shows good escapability to spin away from pressure. And while on the move, he does a really good job getting his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage to make a really impressive throw right along the sidelines. On the second play, we see the escapability to beat the defender around the edge. He's a good athlete, not great, but he's good. And he keeps his eyes downfield while outside the pocket and makes another impressive throw along the sideline. Now, to get into some of the negatives for Stroud's game, the first thing I want to talk about, and it's my biggest concern about him as a prospect, is his tendency to fade away or not bring his back hip through when confronted with pressure directly in his face. So, on this first play, he's going to get a corner blitz off the edge. Like I said, he never drops his eyes versus pressure, but what he doesn't do is finish square to the line of scrimmage. He doesn't bring his back hip fully through to complete this throw, and that leads to him, instead of putting this ball over the top, because the receiver has the defensive back stacked, this should be a touchdown, and if he brings that back hip through and he can drive this football, it would be a touchdown. But he just doesn't have the arm strength to throw off platform and still drive it. So he ends up leaving it short. It's not a touchdown. On this next play, he's going to get a free rusher off the edge. And instead of just maintaining his standard lower body footwork to, once again, like I said, finish and make this throw on this fade 101 with your best target, he fades backwards, kind of braces for contact. That's another concern. He does tend to be kind of cautious to take hits in the pocket. And I do fear at the NFL level, that's going to be a big problem for him. And on this play, it leads to him completely leaving it short and not giving his receiver a chance to make a play. On the final play, it's third down. Once again, he's confronted with pressure up the middle. Instead of standing firm in the pocket, holding this ground, and making this throw and just taking a hit, he fades away, kind of bails away from pressure, and misses. Another concern I have about Stroud's play versus pressure is when he's forced off his spot and he's forced to reset within the pocket. So in this first play, he initially is looking underneath to hit this drag. He's forced to hitch and reset his base, and then he just misses inside from a clean pocket. On this next play, he's forced to slide and climb away from this edge pressure, reset, and then he just air mills this crosser and doesn't give his receiver a chance. On this final play off the play fake, he's going to have to slide away from interior pressure, reset his base, and then he just makes a really ill-advised throw into the middle of the field. He never sees the linebacker Jack Campbell, who's 6'5", and it's hard to miss, but he just doesn't see him, makes a really ill-advised throw, and it's intercepted. Overall, I do believe CJ Stroud is a high-quality quarterback prospect. When he can operate within rhythm and within structure, I do honestly believe he's the best quarterback in this class. He's capable of reading the entire field, going through progressions, and he's a great downfield thrower in terms of touch and accuracy. He's also a good athlete. He's got good escapability and good accuracy outside the pocket as well. But when confronted with pressure in his face or when forced to reset within the pocket, there was a lot of inconsistency on his tape. And at the next level, when he's in a less favorable situation, when he doesn't have one of the best O-lines in the country, the best receiver group in the country, I do fear that some of those flaws and those inconsistencies on tape will become more prominent. And that, combined with just him having good to slightly above average kind of physical traits in terms of his arm strength or his athleticism or his ability to run, prevent me from viewing him as the best quarterback in the 2023 class. And I don't think the gap between him and Young is like gigantic, but I do think Young is a better prospect. I do have him in a different kind of tier than Stroud, but I do believe the gap between Stroud at QB2 and the gap at QB3 is a pretty big one. But overall, like I said, I believe in him, and I do believe he will be an NFL starting caliber quarterback for a long time.